the login activity. Oke, kita cari ini login activity. So when it comes to login activity, okay, it will call this function. This function will call the perform login. Okay, in before to use this one, submit button submit from the activity login. First, in the Kotlin, we need to bind the component inside the activity login to a binding object. So we use activity login bind dot ini. Okay, layout. Okay, so this is from this one. Okay, login binding. Okay, different from the previous version. Okay, you have to get the ID, capture the component through the button ID. Okay, but here Kotlin, you just need to bind the entire interface to a binding object. Using this binding, then you can dot and then list the button submit and then set the on click listener to listen the activity user click. Okay, once click, it will go to trigger this listener and then go to perform login. In this perform login, this is the perform login. So we get the password from the binding object to a variable password to a variable password. Of course, we have checking if the user submit login with empty ID or password, we return an error message. Okay. If user fill up all these two input, we continue to log in. So first we create an object web API from the web API server. This file I gave you last week also is also a Kotlin class object. This file is used to interface with web API. Okay. So from here, you get the object dot login. It will respond if success. That means success login. Else, it will give you an error message telling success login fail. Okay. So before you okay. Once you get the response, you have to return message. You have to map to the JSON format. Using the JSON format and then grab the value lah. Saja. Okay. So let's look into the web login function. It all inside this web API I have gave you last week kan. Ada dalam exam nih. How to call the API in the login function Android Kotlin. Because definition, this is the way. Okay, this is the object, the function in the web API server. From here, once we get the name and password, we put into the JSON object. So we put ID this one, put ID this one, put ID this one. Command is login, okay, or action, okay, and then we encode to base64. Okay, put into a string, JSON, same format, and then post raw string in JSON format to the API. Kan? Ini post string, raw string. Where the post string here, once we get the response, and then we check lah. Then return back to the caller. So we check the response. We check that this calling interface to a general function posting raw string to the API. Okay, also inside the web API server. This is a function. Okay, this is API service, interface service, per function. Nampak. This is the test API. Okay. Okay, the value header is in the API JSON format value. The header, when you posting to API, you have to set the header. Whether it's at the type of format string that accept to in the web API. Okay? Once set, kita begini, implementation. Oh ini sorry, ini ialah dia punya function. Mana tu dia punya function? Post raw. Oh sorry. Ini adalah built-in function post raw API. Okay, post raw API. Okay, this is a function service post raw API. Called the web API. It's the built-in function. Okay. Any question? This is the login. Ada keluar dalam exam, but a little bit different sikit. This is just example. Almost 80% similar the code, but you have to change a little bit thing lah. Okay. Any question? Everything good? Give response. Testing. Tidur sudah. Satu orang yang pandai, yang lain tidak tahu. Ada dua orang sudah, 3, 4. So you understand kan? Final exam Remember the code? Don't record this thing Siapa ada buat record? Jangan record. Okay. This is the tips. Next is registration. We go to registration. What to? User registration. Something like the login. We have the registration XML. Okay, we put the user ID, user password, and confirm password and register. So when the user click register, nampak kita check the logcode dia. The register function itu button ini. Also a submit button. Okay. So when you click this one, it will trigger the event click in the user registration activity Kotlin. Okay. Ini. So it performed before that we have to bind the entire interface, the registration activity to a binding, and then from the binding, then we able to find the button submit and then set the on click listener. When user click, it will go through this listener. Okay, in this listener, it perform registration. Okay, inside registration, same thing like the login. We grab the user ID, password, and also confirm password. Okay, we check also each must be filled, else it will return telling us user to fill all the field. And if password and confirm password not match, it return error also. Password does not match. Okay, and then using this life cycle scope launch. Okay. For the registration, username and password, and get the response. So if the response is success, means success, register success. Else it return the error message, return from the calling API. And then we go deep to the registration mode function. Same as the login, but we have same as a login method to call the API. We create a JSON string, put ID, put password, and command. And then the command value function is the value is user registration. Okay, from here, then we encode it to a base64 and then put into a JSON name and then call the post raw string, the API lah. If success, it returns something. If not, respond the error message lah. Same thing. Okay. So this is from the web API server.kotlin. Any question? Hello? Any question? Everything look fine? Please respond. Oke, satu orang tahu saja. Dua orang tidak tahu. Okay. Any question? Okay, back to the project. And you demo again to remind you what to submit. You have to do the presentation face to face. Okay, face to face. Don't forget to send email, report. Okay. And then on 22, my room, demo in my room. Mana tuh kalender? Two demo. Okay. Ini berapa? Ini 15 sudah. Alhamdulillah, ini 15 sudah. Demo. Oh, you want to make the demo early? No. Kamis, Wednesday cuti. Or you want to Kamis, tak mau. Or you want to Monday. Want to make it early. Any suggestion? No? Everyone happy? 22? Sini cuti ya. Kita Wednesday cuti. Okay. Anything we want to discuss? No, ah? Okay, we go to the attendance. Berapa orang? Ini ada berapa orang? Okay, 16, 14. We got 14, ah? 14. Then we can finish early.